I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Enter Bruce Lee.
I mean, that's Bruce Lee in a nutshell. Over and over and over, he did the same thing, and it shows in the technique because there's no wasted energy. There's no wasted movements. Everything he does with a purpose. He goes in there with an idea of what he's trying to accomplish, and he gets it done. Bruce Lee is the absolute best. Bruce Lee is the man.
His grappling, his takedown defense figure to be tested here tonight, but there aren't that many guys.
Ready. Ready to fight.
All right, so here we are, the MMA leader back in London, England. It's amazing to think back to UFC 75 when the UFC first came to the UK. Now you're talking about 25 shows in the United Kingdom, but few markets as rabid about mixed martial arts as London is.
And the moment you saw guys like Michael Bisping start to fight in the UFC, he seemed as though he was alone. Now there are a number of English fighters with dreams of headlining this arena.
Well, perhaps a sign of things to come as he lands a kick there.
Nice kick landed by this gentleman. Big kick land. Nice leg kick lands.
Mixes it up nicely in terms of staying heavy and also staying active.
Ooh, big shot lands.
Lee's kick is blocked. Back to the well with that right hand, it's no good. Slips the left hand.
You be first.
Back and forth we go. Oh, he's got it going now. Nice connection there, DC.
Another punch landed.
Huge block there. And he landed the right hand there.
Right under the elbow, the body kick lands.
Under 3 minutes remain in round one. Oh, spinning back fist. He didn't telegraph that one at all.
Big liver kick lands under the elbow.
And he connects with a punch there. We'll see if there's more where that came from.
Boxing, boxing, boxing.
Just missed with the left there. Oh, and there's a land with the kick, so certainly a good sign for him there.
When that's working, you know he's in for a good night.
Oh, a huge block there.
Real quick leg kick.
Oh, big right hook, but a whiff.
Let him go. Time to let those hands go.
He's very tricky when he throws that body.
Good kicks there by Lee. Trying to go to the body now with the kick. That one misses.
Look at how he turns his hip into that leg kick.
Just out of range with that left hook. Nice defense there. Huge block. Lands the right hand.
He loaded up on that right hand too.
And an outside leg kick lands.
Big, powerful punch lands. Now he gets back in range.
Put your hands up higher. Come on.
Oh, caught him with a head kick. That at least partially landed.
Oh my goodness, he got kicked in the head and he still stands.
He is all about that left kick to the body.
Head kick.
Oh, and he tags him with the straight hand there. Beautifully done by Lee. Well, one got through. That kick was blocked. Lí going for the leg kick. He misses.
Look at him whip his hip into that kick.
So we cross the 30-second mark in our opening round.
Ooh, head kick lands. He's hurt.
20 seconds now remain in the round.
What a punch.
So a strong 5 minutes down. All right, let's check out some of the action now from that previous round, and he really kept finding a home for those kicks.
Yeah, and why would you change it? If your opponent is not going to check, if he's gonna stand there and he's not on his toes and he's stationary, you keep driving those kicks into his thighs, into his body until he makes some sort of adjustment.
All right, next round is underway, DC. We talked about his powerful kicks, how he attacks all sides of the body, the head, the legs. Pretty good start for him, Tom.
That was so impressive to see someone fight almost predominantly with their legs and have that level of success.
So he's really starting to put together some significant body shots here. These are going to take their toll as this fight goes on. Oh, there he goes, attacking that lead leg to the outside. Nasty kick there.
Nasty leg kick. You gotta slow down your opponent. He knew his opponent wanted to move a lot tonight. This is the first step in getting him to slow down and fight at your pace. I mean, he's cutting down the size with these beautiful leg kicks. Big punch lands over the top. How's he gonna follow this one? Nice body kick right under the elbow. You better get that elbow down or he's gonna keep blasting those body kicks right to your ribs.
And he counters with a left hand. Well, he has landed some good shots, DC, but really unable to string anything together in terms of solid combinations.
It's because he's not committing to it fully. He throws his jab. He may float a right hand out there, but he's not really sitting down on the right hand. He really doesn't seem to have the intent on landing it. He's got to be confident that it's going to land, and he's got to really throw his whole entire body into those strikes.
Blocks the strike. Oh, roundhouse kick, DC.
That was a beautiful strike, and that is the most powerful kick that you can land in a fight.
Oh, nice punch there by Lí.
Protect your face.
Big head kick.
Just over 3 minutes now to go in round two.
Come on, bud. Let's get those hands.
Look at the whip action that comes from him throwing that kick.
Oh, nice hook by him there. Not necessarily with full power, but certainly found the desired target.
He's throwing those shots to damage your opponent and set up another shot down the middle.
Well, he has really picked up the pace here in round two. Much more aggressive than we saw in round one, and now starting to find himself in the pocket.
Ooh, what a punch.
Let's get busy with those hands now, man. Come on, let him go.
Look at him drive his shin into his opponent's body with that body kick.
Ooh! Big right hook coming, it's blocked. Well-placed kick there by Lí. Oh, continuing to work the body to great effect. Well, they've made all the right reads here tonight, and there's another one. Beautiful read on the leg strike as he catches it and then returns fire with a punch of his own. So they have got the timing down here at this point of the fight. Lí gets caught with that punch. He'd be wise to get those hands up.
What a tricky head kick. He's throwing every part of himself into these big leg kicks.
Just out of range with that right hook. There's the kick, it's blocked. He comes forward with a flying knee that just missed hitting the target flush. that hurts to watch as he lands another strike to his opponent's liver. He has continued to target that area after landing that huge liver shot earlier in the fight.
Good punch. Over and over, he's landing these big body kicks.
Hands up! Hands up!
And he caught the kick.
Can't take many of those, you better check.
Grips the body there.
Get those combinations going. Move those
All right, 20
hands.
seconds to go in the round. Oh, he has landed a high volume of strikes in this round and really hasn't let up when it comes to his aggressiveness. The striking has been on point every step of the way. Careful to not gas out, but you gotta like the output here down the stretch.
Oh, nice. Nice.
All right, so an entertaining 5 minutes. Let's look back at some of the highlights, DC, and I'd imagine a lot of these replays are going to be rooted in that kicking game that was on full display.
Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of different techniques, but the kicking was the key to him getting ahead in this fight. He's out ahead now. He needs to stay the course and continue to do that as the fight goes on.
All right, here we go as our next round gets underway. His strong leg packs so much power that even when he doesn't throw it full throttle, you see he's able to inflict damage. We'll see if he can keep it going here in this round.
He doesn't throw it full power, but even when he feints it, he draws out reactions from his opponents because they don't want to get hit with any more of those kicks. It's a sight to behold.
Switching stances here. Oh, and he connects with a punch there, DC. You like this guy.
I like this guy a ton, and to watch his punch like this puts a smile on my face. Oh, nice jab.
And he caught the kick. We'll see what he can do with it. And they separate.
You can really limit the mobility of your opponent with those leg kicks.
All right, so a good job defensively by him here as he raises the guard and prevents any damage.
Shades of James Toney. Always seeing things coming at him. He's such a great defensive fighter.
Well, just as he did in the previous round, continuing to land a high number of strikes here, and he hasn't really showed any signs of slowing down. Scary, scary proposition for the opponent. Oh, nice slip to avoid that right hand.
Liver kick. Good stick.
Come on, buddy. Keep your hands up. Let's go.
Nice kick landed there by Lee. Oh, big roundhouse attempt, just misses. That could have been lights out. Decent right hook attempt, but it's no good.
Look at him chopping the wood. Chop the wood with those leg kicks.
Lee gets caught with that punch. Don't be afraid to get that head off the center line. Oh, wicked nice leg kick there, DC.
Can't take too many of those.
Come on, man. I need more punches. Let's go.
He's able to slip the left. Combination lands, and it seemed like almost every strike found the target.
He's so accurate when he decides to attack. It is a sight to behold.
Oh, lands another shot to the body, beautifully placed as he continues to punish his opponent's midsection here in this round.
Oh man, head kick lands.
Back to the leg kick now. That one's no good. Oh, nice job to slip off the center line there. His head movement has been a huge, huge factor defensively in this fight.
You can never be a stationary target. Even though the feet aren't moving, you gotta be ready to slip that head at a moment's notice.
Well done to block that powerful kick to the body.
Caught that kick there.
Oh, a nice punch out of the break there after he had caught the leg. So he is really starting to put it all together now and clearly seems to have found the timing of his opponent. Oh, what a shot to the body. He told us he was going to be champion. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. It does not get much better than that.
Turn it around.
Oh, Oh, lands another punch there. Not a mean guy. He's just doing the smart thing.
Oh, he has to be attacking that cut, John. I mean, if he's not, then he's doing his opponent a favor. Attack that cut. Make him pay for it. There's no tell on that leg kick.
Blocks the shot. Just misses with the jab there.
That's a big strike right there. Look at the force behind that leg kick.
You wonder if the offensive fighter is going to start to get frustrated here. Most, if not all, of these shots are getting blocked.
They're getting blocked because he's fighting one of the best defensive fighters in the UFC.
Oh, beautiful shot there with the hook. I'm not sure his opponent saw that one coming.
His opponent is taking straight punch. He's hooking right around the guard to land and land efficiently.
Just out of range with that right hand.
Big kick.
Final seconds here. That's 3 rounds in the can. We're headed to the championship rounds. All right, let's take a look back at some of the replays, DC, and if you like the kicking game, that was the round for you.
Yeah, man, he used his kicks beautifully. He managed distance, managed space, and eventually those kicks started to really take an effect on his opponent and slow him down. He has to stay the course next round.
All right, DC, buckle up. Here we go with our next round. High number of kicks landed in the previous round, and he'll look to keep it going here.
He'll look to keep winning the fight with his kicks. He's throwing high kick, leg kick, body kick. He's even throwing a couple spin kicks in there. This guy is so educated with fighting with his legs. He has a commitment to kicking tonight, and it shows.
Well, we wondered earlier why there weren't as many body strikes. He's making up for lost time here. Shot to the body connects, and that bears watching. That's going to hurt this opponent.
That was a thudding leg kick.
This fight's going to be over.
What a great way of mixing up his attack. He didn't stay the course. He mixed it up. He went high when his opponent thought he was going low, and now he's got him hurt very badly.
And a miss with the right hook.
Nice straight punch.
Another shot lands upstairs.
Beautiful kick. There's no give on that leg
And
kick.
both fighters exchange in the pocket.
Liver kick, if you take those kicks, it's gonna shut your body off. You don't know when that leg kick's coming.
Relax. Set up your shots.
Lee's kick to the body, that one blocked by the defense. And he lands a punch there. Pretty good connection by him.
Great connection. He's in a great flow right now.
All right, so a seminal blow earlier in the round. It wasn't a knockdown, but it was certainly a stunner that caught his attention.
Oh, I mean, he got hurt bad. To see him still standing, that just goes to the toughness that he has to be still standing after taking such a damaging shot.
Oh, massive head kick there. We'll see if he can finish. Timely defense there. Huge block for him.
Put your hands up higher.
I'm not sure if he's lighter on his feet or what it is, but these last couple of rounds, he's been far more aggressive, a lot more pressure. Oh, he's really starting to light him up now.
Dig and kick. Watch, knees to the body.
Just over 2 minutes to go. Lee's knee to the body. That one blocked by the opponent.
Powerful leg kick lands.
Just misses there. There, DC, he is officially rocked.
A big, massive hook that really has put his opponent on skates.
All right, lands a kick there, pretty well done.
Really good accuracy landing that kick.
Able to check the high kick.
Big leg kick land.
Oh, bone on bone, shin slash foot, right to the skull. You see why I'm a commentator and not a fighter? You see why?
Yeah, those aren't fun. I'm telling you, man, you get kicked in the head, a lot of times it's the end of the night.
Got a little experience with that.
Yes,
huh?
I do.
A little bit.
It's horrible.
Heavy on the head, heavy on the head.
45 seconds remain in the round.
Nice punch land.
Put him up.
You gotta check these low leg kicks.
Lee going with the kick to the body. He's an outstanding kicker, but that attempt missed.
Real nice body kick land.
Just unable to quite find that range.
That right hand hurt him a little bit.
Buzzer sounds for the end of round 4, 20 minutes in the books. All right, well, his kicking game was outstanding in that round. We'll see if his opponent can make the adjustments, but take us through the replays before we get there.
It's always weird to watch a young fighter start to come into his own. Early in his career, he did not have this ability. He did not have the ability to dictate and control fights with his legs. Now he does, and he looks like a future champion in the making.
We have arrived at this 5th and final round. Well, he continues to land a high number of strikes here, just like he did in the previous round. This is a world-class display of striking here tonight.
Look at how he turns his hip over when he throws that kick. Look at him working at trying to shut the liver down.
He's had a huge strike right there. I'm not sure how many more of these his opponent can take.
Massive shots that he landed. Great job. Big punch lands through the middle.
Hard shots landing on both sides here.
He loaded up there on that high kick. Oh, yes, now we're going.
Oh, that's a hell of a kick right there. He told us Thursday that he was going to be kick heavy tonight, and that is certainly a step in the right direction.
He is landing that strike
Very
very effective.
Oh, he violences this to the end, DC.
I mean, this fight is close to being stopped. That was a massive shot to the body.
Oh, good job defensively to block the strike there by Lee.
Big liver kick lands under the elbow.
Nice punch by Lee. Man, look at the redness starting to appear on the left side of his body. His opponent would be wise to continue to attack there. Well, he is completely gassed at this stage of the fight. I'm not sure if he's lost his will to continue, but might be time to just put that controller down and take a breather.
I mean, he gonna keep pressing those buttons for as long as he can. You gotta get him out of there if you're winning, because he gonna keep on button mashing. Right now, the button mashing becomes even more dangerous because he's like a Wolverine that you cornered, and now all he can do is fight to try to win. Look at him whip his hip into that kick.
Hands higher, hands higher.
Oh, my goodness! He got him! Oh, my goodness, what a fight.
Yeah, there's another one for the highlight reel, and that's probably as good a knockout as he's had in the UFC. Just a perfect shot to end the fight. Crowd absolutely loving it. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. Flush land to close out his opponent. I'm not even sure the other fighter saw it coming. So a big knockout for him here tonight on the biggest of stages. And there he is, all smiles. What a